Oh, fake pilot, fake uniform, stop it! Oh, fake pilot, stop it!
Denver International Airport, Terminal C, Gate 19, 8:54 a.m. A decorated airline captain was accused of wearing a fake uniform and escorted away from her own aircraft. 8 minutes later, she returned with the authority to end careers. Where are you from? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're loving this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Captain Maya Reynolds stood at the jet bridge entrance, her uniform immaculate. 4 golden stripes adorned her navy sleeves. Wings gleamed on her chest. Her credentials hung visibly from a lanyard. Yet Gates supervisor Linda Harper refused to let her pass. Security, Linda's voice pierced the morning rush. We've got a costume impersonator attempting to access a restricted zone. Every head in the waiting area turned. Phones emerged from pockets. A family of 4 stared openly. Business travelers lowered their laptops. Ma'am, I don't care where you purchased that outfit, Linda continued, her tone dripping with condescension. This is a secure facility. Impersonating crew members violates federal law. Maya's leather portfolio rested against her ankle. Inside it, documents that would soon shock everyone present. But first, she tried the calm approach. I'm Captain Reynolds, she said evenly. I've been assigned to Horizon Airlines Flight 552 to Portland. My identification is right here. She reached slowly for her Federal Aviation Administration license. The laminated card displayed her photograph, ratings, medical clearances, and an issue date showing 7 years of certified commercial flying. Linda waved it away without examination. Anyone can order fake credentials online these days. I've seen it all in my 16 years here. The crowd swelled. A passenger named Tanya Morris had been filming her travel vlog when the confrontation erupted. Now her camera captured everything. Her live follower count climbed, 83 viewers, then 174, then 289. Are you all watching this? Tanya whispered into her microphone. An airline captain in full uniform is being harassed at Gate 19. Maya presented her Horizon Airlines employee badge next. The card bore the corporate emblem, magnetic security stripe, her photograph, and employee identification HA5583. Hire date, April 22, 2018. Ma'am, I've flown for Horizon for 7 years, Maya stated. I'm scheduled as pilot in command for this morning's Portland departure. Linda barely glanced down. Listen, actual pilots attend prestigious academies or serve in the military. They earn their positions through years of rigorous training. Credentials aren't just handed out randomly. Tanya's stream exploded with outraged comments. This is blatant discrimination. Check the crew manifest. Someone record her badge number. Her viewer count surged past 1,400. Maya's phone vibrated. A calendar alert flashed. Executive presentation, 10:00 a.m. Boardroom 3A, she dismissed it quickly, but not before double-checking the premium briefcase by her feet. Co-pilot Derek Foster appeared from the crew corridor, dragging his flight bag. His face brightened seeing Maya, then fell as he registered the scene. Captain Reynolds, he approached with confidence. Ready for another seamless flight to Portland. Linda spun toward him. So you're part of this charade, too. Derek's expression shifted to disbelief. Charade? Linda, what are you talking about? She's been my captain for 9 months. We flew the Houston route together last Thursday. I don't know what scheme you two are running. Linda's voice climbed higher. But real pilots have proper documentation, verifiable credentials, and follow established protocols. Maya opened her flight portfolio. Inside, her flight operations manual, navigation charts for the Portland corridor, meteorological reports she'd reviewed at 6:00 a.m., and her logbook documenting 4,158 flight hours across 13 aircraft classifications. She arranged each item deliberately on the counter. Here's today's route briefing, current Portland International weather data, my logbook showing FAA-mandated recurrent training from last month. Her voice remained professional, controlled. And my medical certificate renewed 70 days ago. Linda swept the papers aside with her forearm. Documents scattered across the terminal floor. Anyone can manufacture false paperwork nowadays, she announced loud enough for neighboring gates to hear. I've witnessed these tactics before, people attempting cockpit access, planning aircraft theft, preparing acts of terror. The word terror rippled through the assembled passengers. Several stepped backward. An overhead announcement reminded travelers to report suspicious behavior. Tanya's phone screen displayed 3,216 viewers. Comments scrolled faster than human reading speed. Maya knelt calmly, collecting her scattered materials. As she stood, her briefcase shifted. A corporate executive badge caught the fluorescent lighting, just a glint barely noticeable to most observers, but Derek noticed. His eyes widened fractionally. Linda, he said carefully, perhaps you should verify the crew roster system or contact your supervisor. Captain Reynolds is definitely scheduled for this departure. I don't need computer verification, Linda snapped. I trust my judgment and experience. Both tell me this individual doesn't belong near an aircraft. Flight attendant Rachel Park arrived next, her roller bag clicking across tiles. She absorbed the scene, scattered documents, Tanya's recording the growing spectator crowd. What's going on? She asked Derek quietly. Linda believes Captain Reynolds is impersonating a pilot. Rachel's face drained of color. Are you serious? She's flown with us countless times. I served her tea just 4 days ago on the Seattle run. Linda overheard. Of course everyone's involved now. How much are they compensating you people? 8:56 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 54 minutes. Maya's phone buzzed again, this time a message from a contact labeled simply CEO Admin. Presentation materials confirmed, anticipating your analysis this morning. She glanced at the text, then at her watch, a sophisticated Omega Seamaster, the same timepiece worn by naval aviators. Perfect timing, she murmured almost inaudibly. Tanya's microphone caught it. Her comment section erupted with theories about what perfect timing meant. Viewer count, 5,187. 8:58 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 43 minutes. What's the issue here? Operations Manager Stephen Collins emerged from the boarding bridge, his Horizon Airlines management credentials swaying. His tone suggested he'd already formed conclusions. Linda straightened, sensing support. Stephen, thank goodness. This woman is impersonating flight crew. She's carrying forged documents, fake identification, the complete package. Collins examined Maya dismissively, his gaze lingering judgmentally. Ma'am, you need to exit this secure zone immediately. Derek stepped forward. Stephen, this is Captain Reynolds. She's been with Horizon for 7 years. I'm her first officer on today's Portland flight. That's impossible, Collins replied without checking any records. Our captain assignments follow strict protocols. Legitimate captains report through crew scheduling, not by wandering terminals in costumes. Tanya's live stream hit 9,847 viewers. Comments became a cascade of fury. Contact the media. This is 2026 and this still happens? Get their badge numbers. Make this go viral. A passenger shouted from the crowd, just check the computer. Collins turned sharply. Sir, please don't interfere with security operations. We handle these situations per established protocol. What protocol? Rachel couldn't contain herself. The protocol where you ignore a pilot's credentials based on appearance. Miss Park, I suggest you reconsider your tone, or you'll be seeking alternative employment. Collins's threat hung heavy in the recycled air. 9:00 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 41 minutes. 2 airport security officers approached, radios crackling with dispatch codes. Officer Ramirez, a 21-year veteran, looked puzzled as he surveyed the situation. Dispatch reported an impersonator in the gate area. He studied Maya's uniform, then the documents on the counter. Ma'am, may I see identification? Maya offered her license again. Ramirez actually examined it, comparing photograph to face, checking holographic security elements, verifying issue dates and medical certification stamps. "This appears legitimate," he told Collins. "Current FAA credentials, proper commercial ratings." Collins snatched the license from Ramirez. "These can be counterfeited. I've seen them on underground websites, perfect duplicates." "Stephen," Derek's voice carried a warning, "you're making a critical error." "The only error," Collins fired back, "is allowing unvetted individuals near our aircraft. Do you understand what airline security means after September 11th? We don't gamble with suspicious persons." The crowd had expanded to nearly 60 people. Gates C-17, C-18, and C-21 had emptied as passengers gravitated toward the drama. Tanya adjusted her phone angle, viewer count approaching 13,000. Someone yelled from the back, "This is racial profiling." Collins spun around. "Anyone making unfounded accusations will be removed from the terminal. This concerns safety and security, nothing more." 9:02 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 39 minutes. Maya's phone rang. Caller ID Chief Pilot Harrison. She answered calmly. "Good morning, Chief." A gruff voice carried through the speaker, audible nearby. "Reynolds, where are you? Flight 552 should begin boarding passengers in 25 minutes. I'm at Gate 19, sir. There's been some confusion regarding my crew assignment." "Confusion? What confusion? You're scheduled as captain on the Portland route. I made that assignment myself last Wednesday." Collins grabbed for the phone. "Let me speak to whoever that is." Maya smoothly withdrew the device. "Chief, Mr. Collins, the operations manager, believes I'm impersonating a pilot." A lengthy pause. Then Harrison's voice, loud enough for everyone within 3 gates to hear, "Put Collins on this phone immediately." Collins reluctantly accepted the device. "This is Stephen Collins, Gate Operations Manager." The voice erupting from the speaker could be heard across the entire concourse. "Collins, what the hell is your problem? Captain Reynolds is among our most experienced pilots. She has more logged hours than half our senior roster." Collins's face reddened. "Sir, I was following security protocols." "Security protocols? Bull. You get her on that aircraft right now, or you'll explain to corporate why Flight 552 missed its departure window." The call disconnected with an audible click. 9:05 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 36 minutes. The crowd murmured as Collins stood frozen, still clutching the silent phone. Tanya's stream comments exploded with vindication. Viewer count, 17,129. But Collins wasn't finished. His supervisory authority had been publicly challenged, and his ego rejected surrender. "Anyone can stage a phone call," he announced. "Voice modification software, accomplices, sophisticated fraud schemes. I've witnessed everything in 16 years of operations." Officer Ramirez looked stunned. "Sir, you just heard the chief pilot verify her identity." "I heard a voice on a phone," Collins corrected. "For all we know, that was an accomplice reading a prepared script." Maya checked her watch again, the Omega Seamaster reflecting overhead lights. Her briefcase stood perfectly upright beside her, the executive badge now visible to observant onlookers. She opened her phone, scrolling to a contact labeled simply Director. "Excuse me," she said quietly, stepping aside. The call connected instantly. "Good morning," she said barely above a whisper. "Yes, I'm here. The situation is unfolding precisely as we anticipated." Tanya's microphone captured fragments. "Documented completely, board presentation, systemic patterns." Live stream comments went wild with speculation. "Who's she calling? Board presentation? She's more than a pilot. Plot twist coming." Viewer count, 16,483. 9:07 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 34 minutes. As Maya ended her call, a news van appeared outside the terminal windows. Channel 9 News had been tracking social media trends. and a discrimination story at Denver International with nearly 22,000 live viewers was impossible to ignore. Reporter Jessica Chen rushed through the terminal entrance, cameraman following closely. Collins noticed the news team and panicked. Everyone must disperse now. This is a security matter, not a media spectacle. Too late, Jessica Chen's trained eye immediately identified the central figures. The woman in pilot uniform, the flustered manager, the crowd of recording passengers. This is Jessica Chen, Channel 9 News, reporting live from Denver International Airport, where we're witnessing what appears to be a discrimination incident involving an airline captain. Maya smiled for the first time since the ordeal began. She checked her watch once more. "Perfect timing," she repeated, her voice carrying different weight now, quieter yet somehow more commanding. Her briefcase clicked open slightly, revealing thick legal folders and a bound report titled Discrimination Analysis, Confidential. The real revelation was about to begin. 9:09 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 32 minutes. Maya Reynolds stood perfectly composed as chaos swirled around her. News camera rolling. Tanya's stream hitting 25,000 viewers. Airport security appearing confused. Stephen Collins caught between escalation and retreat. She opened her briefcase completely. Inside, thick legal documents arranged in perfect order. A bound report stamped confidential in red letters. Multiple identification badges clipped to the interior. And one laminated letter bearing the Horizon Airlines corporate seal. "Mr. Collins." Maya's voice cut through the noise with quiet command. "Ms. Harper, I believe there's been a misunderstanding about my identity." She lifted the laminated document. Corporate letterhead gleamed under fluorescent lights. "I'm Captain Maya Reynolds. I've flown for Horizon Airlines for 7 years, as you've heard repeatedly." Her tone remained measured, precise. "But as of 7:00 a.m. this morning, I'm also the newly appointed Regional Operations Director for Horizon Airlines Western Division." The terminal went silent. Collins's face drained completely. That's impossible." Maya held up the appointment letter, signed by CEO Marcus Thompson himself. The date was clear, effective immediately. The scope was comprehensive, operational oversight for 52 airports across 14 states. Tanya's phone nearly dropped. Live stream comments exploded. "She's the boss. Greatest plot twist ever. They're finished. Oh my God." 9:11 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 30 minutes. Jessica Chen thrust her microphone forward. "Captain Reynolds, can you confirm your recent promotion to Regional Director?" "The promotion was finalized at 6:30 a.m. this morning," Maya replied steadily. "My first official responsibility was conducting an unannounced evaluation of gate operations and crew treatment protocols." The word struck Collins like physical blows. Evaluation. "Every interaction today has been documented." Maya gestured toward Tanya's phone, still streaming to 29,000 viewers. "Ms. Morris's broadcast provides excellent real-time evidence, as does Channel 9's coverage." She reached into her briefcase, withdrawing a small recording device. "And naturally, I've been documenting everything since 8:54 a.m. The device's red indicator blinked steadily, recorded everything. Officer Ramirez stepped back involuntarily. Rachel covered her mouth. Derek looked like he wanted to vanish into the terminal floor. "However, that's not your primary concern, Mr. Collins." She pulled out her tablet, opening a presentation marked Executive Board Session, 10:00 a.m. "I'm presenting findings to Horizon Airlines Board of Directors in less than 1 hour. The topic: systemic discrimination in gate operations and its impact on corporate liability." 9:13 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 28 minutes. The crowd pressed closer, phones recording from every angle. Tanya's viewer count, 33,000. Jessica Chen's cameraman zoomed on the tablet screen. Maya scrolled through slides titled, Federal Aviation Regulation 121.7, Crew Member Treatment Standards. Title VII Violations Pattern Analysis. social media impact, real-time brand damage, legal liability, projected settlement costs. Collins's hands trembled visibly. This was all staged. This was a routine crew assignment, Maya corrected. Your response transformed it into a case study. She clicked another slide. Incident documentation, Gate 19, Denver International. The slide contained time-stamped photographs from earlier. Collins blocking her path. Linda pointing accusingly, security approaching. Every moment captured digitally. My assistant has been monitoring social media responses in real time. Maya's voice never wavered. Ms. Morris's stream is trending on 4 platforms. Hashtag Horizon Discrimination has 1,023 mentions in the past hour. Our stock price has declined $2.70 per share. She displayed her phone screen showing live financial data. Horizon Airlines, HZN, $2, 70-2.8%. The financial implications hit Collins harder than any personal accusation. Horizon Airlines operated on slim profit margins. A 2.8% stock decline represented millions in market capitalization. You're witnessing approximately $934 million in lost shareholder value, Maya continued, voice clinical. Based on current trading volume and social media sentiment analysis. A businessman in the crowd audibly gasped. Several passengers frantically checked their investment portfolios. 9:15 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 26 minutes. Linda Harper, silent since Collins arrived, finally spoke. You can't just, this isn't fair. How was I supposed to know? Maya turned to face her directly. Ms. Harper, how exactly were you supposed to know? What? The question, Maya said evenly. You don't look like. Linda's voice trailed off, realizing the trap she'd entered. I don't look like what exactly? Tanya's stream comments went berserk. Viewer count, 38,000. Linda's silence was deafening. Maya reached into her briefcase again, withdrawing a comprehensive personnel file. Ms. Harper, you've been with Horizon Airlines for 12 years. You've completed diversity training 5 times. You've signed acknowledgement forms for our anti-discrimination policies. You wear a badge that reads, "Every passenger matters." She flipped through documentation pages, training certificates dated 2015, 2017, 2020, 2022, and 2024, each bearing Linda's signature acknowledging company anti-discrimination policies. Yet today you refused to examine my credentials. You dismissed my identification. You accused me of terrorism. You summoned security based solely on visual assessment. The terminal felt like a courtroom. Maya the prosecutor, evidence overwhelming, verdict inevitable. 9:17 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 24 minutes. A new voice interrupted, Captain Reynolds. Everyone turned toward a man in an expensive suit approaching rapidly. His badge, corporate security, executive protection. Mr. Thompson's office dispatched me. The CEO requests immediate contact. He extended a secure satellite phone. CEO Marcus Thompson's voice crackled through the speaker, audible to the crowd. Maya, I've been watching the news coverage. Are you okay? I'm fine, Marcus. The situation is developing exactly as we discussed during briefing. The casual first-name usage sent another shockwave through observers. These weren't merely colleagues. This was a coordinated operation at the highest corporate levels. Excellent. I've called an emergency board session for 9:30 a.m. Legal is already reviewing footage. How do you want to proceed with personnel actions? The corporate security officer gestured for privacy, but Maya declined. Public accountability, she said clearly. The response must be as visible as the discrimination. Understood, legal is standing by. Human Resources has prepared termination packages. And Maya, yes. The board is unanimously behind you. Clean house. The call ended. 9:19 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 22 minutes. Collins stumbled backward, face ashen. Personnel actions. Maya closed the phone, returning it to the security officer. She pulled another document from her briefcase, a thick legal brief stamped with the Department of Transportation seal. Mr. Collins, Ms. Harper, let me clarify your current legal exposure. She opened to a highlighted section. Federal Aviation Regulation 121.7 specifically addresses crew member treatment and anti-discrimination protocols. Violations carry fines up to $450,000 per incident and potential criminal charges. The figure hit like a hammer, $450,000 more than most people's homes. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act adds civil liability. Current case law suggests damages between $60,000 and $350,000 for workplace discrimination with social media amplification. She turned another page. Colorado State Civil Rights Act provides additional penalties, and with 40,000 people currently watching this live, she gestured toward Tanya's phone. Punitive damages tend to scale with public visibility. Jessica Chen spoke into her microphone. This is unprecedented coverage of workplace discrimination being addressed in real time at Denver International. The news van's satellite dish extended skyward, broadcasting across Colorado and beyond. 9:21 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 20 minutes. Airport Security Chief Daniel Martinez approached, alerted by media presence. His face showed the careful neutrality of someone navigating political minefields. Captain Reynolds, I sincerely apologize for this incident. This doesn't represent O'Hare standards or our partnership with Horizon Airlines. Thank you, Chief Martinez. I appreciate your professionalism. Martinez turned to his officers. Gentlemen, ensure these proceedings continue without further disruption. The message was clear. Airport management was distancing itself from Collins and Linda's actions. Maya displayed her tablet again, showing a new slide. Horizon Airlines Financial Impact Analysis. The numbers were staggering. Current stock decline. $2.70 minus 2.8% market cap loss, $1.02 billion trending hashtags, 1,389 mentions projected legal costs, $8.5 $3 million brand reputation damage, severe. These numbers update every 45 seconds, she explained matter-of-factly. Our crisis management team is fielding calls from major institutional investors. Collins looked physically ill. As a 16-year employee, he likely held company stock in retirement accounts. He was watching his own pension evaporate in real time. 9:23 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 18 minutes. Maya's phone buzzed with another call. She glanced at the screen, board chair Victoria Williams. Excuse me, she said, answering immediately. Maya, it's Victoria. The emergency board session is convening now. Marcus briefed us. Do you need anything? Full legal support and immediate policy implementation authority. Done. Lawyers are drafting termination documents. HR is preparing new training protocols. And Maya, yes. The board voted unanimously. Zero tolerance going forward. No warnings, no second chances. This stops today. The call ended. Maya looked at Collins and Linda, who'd heard every word. Mr. Collins, Ms. Harper, you have a choice. Resign immediately with standard severance packages, or face federal investigation, public termination, and potential legal action for civil rights violations. The weight of federal law hung heavy. The severance packages include legal protection from personal liability, she continued. Resignation letters admit no wrongdoing but acknowledge policy violations. You have 3 minutes to decide. Tanya's stream hit 45,000 viewers. Comments moved too fast to read, a blur of outrage and vindication. 9:25 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 16 minutes. The silence stretched taut, 2 careers balanced on the next spoken word. 2 families' financial futures hung in the balance. Then Linda's shoulders sagged. I'll resign. Her voice cracked, 12 years with the company, a pension vanishing, benefits disappearing overnight. Collins looked at her, then at the cameras, then at Maya's calm, professional eyes. Me too, he whispered. Tanya's stream exploded with celebration emojis. Viewer count, $48,000. But Maya wasn't celebrating. She withdrew 2 pre-written resignation letters, placing them on the counter with 2 pens. Please sign and date. HR will process final paychecks within 72 hours. As they signed, she opened her briefcase one final time, withdrawing a thick binder marked Project Dignity, Implementation Phase 1. The real work was just beginning. 9:27 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 14 minutes. As Collins and Linda completed their resignation letters, Maya's tablet chimed with an incoming video call. The Horizon Airlines corporate boardroom appeared on screen, 13 directors seated around a mahogany table, faces grim. Captain Reynolds, Board Chair Victoria Williams spoke first. We're monitoring the live coverage, ready to proceed with Phase 2. Tanya's camera caught the tablet screen. 50,000 viewers suddenly realized they were witnessing a real-time corporate crisis session. Yes, ma'am. I have comprehensive documentation and immediate implementation recommendations. Maya opened the Project Dignity binder, holding the first page toward the camera. The letterhead read, Confidential Executive Analysis, Systemic Discrimination in Gate Operations. Board members, as the live footage demonstrates, our operational assessment has confirmed the discrimination patterns we discussed last month. CEO Marcus Thompson leaned forward on screen. What's our financial exposure, Maya? She clicked a new screen showing real-time analytics. Current stock impact, negative $2.70 per share. That's $1.02 billion in market cap erosion in 42 minutes. The numbers struck like artillery. Collins, still standing nearby, visibly winced, realizing the magnitude his actions had triggered. Social media sentiment analysis shows 932% increase in negative brand mentions. Hashtag Horizon Discrimination is trending number 4 nationally on Twitter, number 8 on TikTok. 9:29 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 12 minutes. Jessica Chen positioned her cameraman for better angle as Maya continued her real-time board presentation. According to Federal Aviation Regulation 135.427, airlines maintaining discriminatory practices face potential route suspensions and operating certificate reviews. She displayed another document. The Department of Transportation's Office of Aviation Consumer Protection has specific guidelines for discrimination incidents with social media amplification. Board member Patricia Monroe spoke from the tablet. What are immediate compliance requirements? Mandatory bias training within 45 days for all customer-facing personnel. Independent third-party monitoring of gate operations. Quarterly discrimination audits with public reporting. The corporate machinery shifted into overdrive. Legal requirements, compliance protocols, financial implications, all cascading from a single morning's confrontation. However, Maya continued, our primary concern isn't regulatory compliance, it's market position. She showed a new slide. Competitor analysis, crisis response effectiveness. Southwest Airlines' 2018 passenger removal incident cost them $1.6 billion in market value and required 19 months of reputation recovery. Delta Airlines' discrimination lawsuit in 2021 resulted in $2.7 million in settlements plus ongoing monitoring costs. Board members exchanged worried glances through the video link. 9:31 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 10 minutes. Horizon Airlines currently holds 27% market share in the Western Corridor, Maya explained to both the board and growing onlooker crowd. We service 2.8 million passengers monthly with annual revenues of $5.3 billion. Tanya's stream comments exploded with people sharing their own airline discrimination experiences. Viewer count, 56,000. A sustained boycott campaign could reduce passenger volume by 18 to 35% based on historical precedent. That translates to $210 to $420 million in annual revenue loss. Collins looked like he might collapse. His morning discrimination had potentially cost the company hundreds of millions. Victoria Williams spoke again. Maya, what's your implementation timeline for corrective measures? Immediate actions within 72 hours. Comprehensive reform within 120 days. Full system integration within 8 months. She opened the binder wider, revealing detailed action plans. Phase 1, emergency policy announcements and leadership changes. Phase 2, technology integration and monitoring systems. Phase 3, cultural transformation and accountability metrics. 9:33 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 8 minutes. The boarding area had transformed into impromptu corporate theater. Tanya's phone captured every word for 58,000 viewers. Jessica Chen's crew broadcast live to Denver's morning audience. Airport passengers crowded around with their own devices. Let me outline our immediate response, Maya announced, projecting her voice clearly. First, Horizon Airlines hereby implements zero-tolerance discrimination policies effective immediately. Any employee engaging in discriminatory behavior faces instant termination without severance. She clicked a new slide. Second, we're launching Project Dignity, a comprehensive bias elimination program. All customer-facing employees will complete unconscious bias training within 45 days. Board members nodded approval through the video link. Third, we're installing AI-powered monitoring systems at all gate operations. Discriminatory language or behavior will trigger immediate supervisor intervention. A passenger shouted, "What about compensation for past discrimination?" Maya turned toward the voice. Excellent question. Horizon Airlines is establishing a $60 million passenger dignity fund for discrimination victims. Claims will be processed by independent arbitrators. The announcement sent shockwaves through social media. Tanya's comment section filled with people demanding claim information. 9:35 a.m. Flight 552 departure, 6 minutes. Flight 552's departure time was approaching, but nobody moved toward the gate. The entire terminal seemed frozen by the unfolding corporate transformation. CEO Thompson's voice came through the tablet. Maya, you have full authority to implement these measures immediately. Legal has prepared all necessary documentation. She reached into her briefcase, withdrawing a thick stack of pre-signed executive orders. I'm implementing Emergency Corporate Directive 2026-B1, Comprehensive Anti-Discrimination Protocol. The first document bore CEO Thompson's signature and the corporate seal. This directive supersedes all existing gate operation procedures and grants me emergency implementation authority. Collins and Linda stood paralyzed, watching their former workplace transformed in real time. Additionally, Maya continued, I'm announcing immediate creation of the Chief Equity Officer position, reporting directly to the CEO with board oversight. She held up another signed document. Dr. Aisha Johnson, former ACLU legal director, has accepted the position effective today. 9:37 a.m. delayed departure, 4 minutes. Tanya's stream hit 62,000 viewers as Maya delivered final corporate announcements. Horizon Airlines commits to publishing quarterly diversity reports with full transparency. We'll track hearing, promotion, and incident data by demographics. She displayed a mock-up mobile app on her tablet. The Horizon Voices app launches next week, allowing passengers to report discrimination incidents directly to corporate leadership with photo and video evidence. The technology solution impressed even skeptical viewers. Real-time reporting, direct escalation, executive visibility. A discrimination victim's digital shield. Finally, Maya announced, Horizon Airlines is partnering with the Frederick Douglass Aviation Foundation to sponsor 120 aviation scholarships annually for underrepresented students. The crowd erupted, Tanya's comment section filled with celebration. Board Chair Williams spoke from the tablet. Captain Reynolds, the board approves all measures unanimously. You have our complete support for immediate implementation. 9:39 a.m. delayed departure, 6 minutes. As the video call ended, Maya addressed the crowd directly. 63,000 people watched through Tanya's stream. Jessica Chen's crew captured every word for television. "This morning's incident demonstrates that discrimination persists in our industry," she said, voice carrying quiet authority. "But it also proves that systematic change is achievable when leaders commit to accountability." She gestured toward the signed resignation letters. Individual consequences matter, but systemic reform protects everyone. Collins and Linda had become cautionary tales, careers sacrificed for outdated thinking and unconscious bias. Horizon Airlines chooses to lead rather than follow. We choose transparency over secrecy. We choose justice over comfort. The crowd listened in rapt attention as she outlined corporate transformation in real time. "These changes begin today, not next quarter, not next year, today." Tanya's stream reached 66,000 viewers as Maya packed materials back into her briefcase. The executive badge caught light one final time before disappearing. Airport Security Chief Martinez approached respectfully. "Captain Reynolds, Flight 552 is ready for boarding whenever you're prepared." She checked her Omega Seamaster. "Actually, Chief Martinez, I won't be flying today. I have a board session to attend." She turned to Derek Foster, who'd watched the entire proceedings in stunned silence. "Derek, your pilot in command for the Portland flight. Congratulations on your promotion." His temporary captaincy was another symbol of the day's transformations. Merit rising, discrimination falling, justice prevailing through systematic change. The real revolution had just begun. 9:41 a.m. post-crisis recovery. As the crowd dispersed, Tanya Morris ended her historic stream. Final viewer count: 68,124 people who'd witnessed corporate transformation in real time. Her phone buzzed with interview requests from NBC, ABC, and Good Morning America. "This is Tanya Morris signing off from what might be the most important stream I've ever done," she announced to remaining viewers. "Sometimes change happens one person at a time. Today, it happened one moment at a time." Airport maintenance crews quietly cleaned scattered documents and cleared the gate area. Normal operations resumed with unusual efficiency. Nobody wanted to be the next discrimination incident caught on camera. 9:47, Horizon Airlines corporate headquarters. Dr. Aisha Johnson arrived at her new office to find a comprehensive briefing package waiting. Charts, graphs, incident reports, and policy frameworks covered her conference table. Her first day as Chief Equity Officer would determine the trajectory of a $5.3 billion company. Her phone rang immediately. "Dr. Johnson, this is Captain Reynolds. I'm heading to the board session now. Are you ready to implement Phase 2? "Absolutely. I've reviewed preliminary data. We're looking at systematic patterns across 52 airports." Exactly, today's incident wasn't isolated. It was illustrative. 9:52, emergency board meeting. Maya entered the corporate boardroom carrying her briefcase and tablet. 13 directors sat around the mahogany table, faces reflecting the morning's gravity. "Board members," she began without preamble, "we've successfully contained immediate damage and implemented emergency protocols. Stock price has stabilized at negative $2.41 per share." She opened her tablet displaying real-time metrics. "Social media sentiment has shifted 53% positive following our response announcements. Hashtag Horizon Reform is now trending alongside the original discrimination hashtag." CEO Thompson nodded approvingly. "The market responded well to decisiveness. What's our long-term implementation strategy?" Maya clicked to her comprehensive reform timeline. Phase 1 complete within 72 hours. All gate agents company-wide will complete emergency bias training. We're deploying mobile training units to major hubs starting this afternoon. Board member Victoria Williams leaned forward. "What about monitoring compliance?" Phase 2 launches Monday. AI-powered audio analysis at all gate positions. Any discriminatory language triggers immediate supervisor alerts and mandatory intervention protocols. She showed footage from a test installation at Phoenix Sky Harbor. The system recognizes bias indicators with 96% accuracy, false positive rate below 1.8%. 10:47, implementation begins. The first Horizon Voices app downloads exceeded 17,000 within hours of launch. Passengers began reporting positive experiences alongside historical discrimination incidents. The flood of feedback provided real-time organizational pulse checks. Flight attendant Rachel Park received a notification on her crew tablet. Mandatory bias training, complete within 48 hours. The training module included video analysis of the morning's incident, expert commentary on implicit bias, and scenario-based decision-making. "This is actually really valuable," she told Derek Foster during their Portland layover. "I never realized how many unconscious assumptions I make daily." Derek nodded. Captain Reynolds didn't just achieve justice for herself, she created a system protecting everyone. 11:32, media response. Jessica Chen's news report aired during Denver's midday show cycle. The story led with dramatic confrontation footage, then shifted to expert analysis of corporate crisis management. "What we witnessed at Denver International represents a new model for addressing workplace discrimination," she reported. Rather than defensive damage control, Horizon Airlines chose transparent accountability and systematic reform. Dr. Samuel Martinez, a University of Denver business ethics professor, provided commentary. "This case study will be taught in MBA programs for decades. The combination of individual consequences and institutional change creates sustainable transformation." 12:04 p.m. ripple effects. 4 competing airlines announced their own discrimination review processes before afternoon. Alaska Airlines fast-tracked bias training implementation. JetBlue launched a passenger feedback initiative. Spirit Airlines hired an external diversity consulting firm. The industry transformation that began with one morning's confrontation spread across the entire aviation sector. 1:17 p.m. personal impact. Linda Harper sat in her car outside the terminal, staring at her final paycheck notification. 12 years of employment reduced to a severance payment and a lesson in consequences. Her phone buzzed with a text from her brother. "Saw the news coverage. Are you okay?" She typed back slowly. "I need to reflect on who I've become and who I want to be." Stephen Collins faced similar reckoning in his suburban office, surrounded by family photographs and aviation memorabilia. His 16-year career had ended because he couldn't see past his own assumptions. Both would eventually find new employment. Both would carry the weight of their choices. Both would become inadvertent advocates for the changes they'd resisted. 2:33 p.m. success metrics. Dr. Johnson presented preliminary data to the executive team. Employee engagement surveys show 83% approval for new policies. Passenger satisfaction scores increased 14% in the past 7 hours. The numbers told a story of organizational healing. When companies choose justice over comfort, people respond positively. "Most significantly," she continued, "we've received 289 applications for our aviation scholarship program. Word is spreading in communities that haven't traditionally seen airlines as welcoming employers." 3:06 p.m. systematic change. The discrimination monitoring technology was already proving effective. 4 bias incidents at different airports triggered immediate interventions before escalation. Supervisors arrived within minutes, de-escalated situations, and documented lessons learned. "The system works because it assumes good intentions while preparing for bad outcomes," Maya explained to a conference call of airport managers. "We're not punishing people for mistakes. We're preventing mistakes from becoming discrimination." The cultural shift was measurable. Gate agents began questioning their own assumptions. Supervisors received enhanced authority to address problems immediately. Passengers felt empowered to report concerns without fear of retaliation. 5:03 p.m. legacy building. As afternoon flights departed on schedule, Maya stood in her new corner office overlooking Denver's runways. The briefcase that had started everything sat open on her desk, executive badge catching sunlight. Her assistant knocked. "Captain Reynolds, the NAACP wants to schedule an interview about corporate discrimination reform. Stanford Business School is requesting a case study presentation, and 71 news outlets have called for statements." Maya smiled quietly. "Schedule the NAACP interview for next week. Accept Stanford's invitation for spring semester, and draft a statement emphasizing systematic change over individual recognition." The real victory wasn't personal vindication. It was institutional transformation protecting thousands of future passengers and employees. Outside her window, Flight 552 to Portland taxied for departure with Derek Foster as captain. New policies, new monitoring, new accountability measures protected every interaction between crew and passengers. The discrimination that had defined one morning was becoming the catalyst for generational change. 7 months later, Denver International Airport. Tanya Morris walked through Gate 19, the same spot where her stream had changed everything. A small plaque now marked the location. Project Dignity Launch Site, March 17, 2026. She pulled out her phone, not to stream this time, but to share a quiet update with her followers. "7 months ago, I witnessed something that restored my faith in justice," she spoke softly to her camera. "Today, I'm seeing the results." Gate agents wore new badges reading, "Dignity First." Digital displays showed bias reporting QR codes. The Horizon Voices app had logged over 3,400 positive interactions and prevented 53 potential discrimination incidents through early intervention. The ripple effect. Maya Reynolds' promotion to regional director had triggered industry-wide transformation. The Denver Protocol became standard practice across major airlines. Real-time monitoring, immediate intervention, and systematic accountability had replaced the old culture of ignored complaints and delayed justice. Captain Derek Foster, now permanently assigned to the Portland route, carried different authority. His temporary promotion that chaotic morning had become a permanent position earned through competence rather than convenience. "She didn't just save her own career," he told new pilot trainees during orientation. "She saved all of ours from becoming part of a broken system." Personal transformations. Linda Harper found work at a community college teaching customer service courses with a focus on unconscious bias. Her syllabus included case studies of discrimination incidents, including her own. "I spent 12 years thinking I was helping people," she told students during the semester's first class. "But I was only helping people who looked like me. That's not service, that's selection." Her teaching evaluations consistently mentioned her authentic approach to discussing personal transformation and accountability. Stephen Collins took a position with an aviation consulting firm specializing in workplace culture reform. His experience as both perpetrator and witness of systemic change gave him unique credibility with resistant organizations. "Change is possible," he would tell skeptical executives, "but only when the cost of staying the same exceeds the cost of transformation." Measurable success. Dr. Aisha Johnson presented annual diversity metrics to industry leaders at the National Aviation Conference. The numbers told a story of institutional healing. Discrimination incidents down 91% across Horizon Airlines. Employee satisfaction up 38% system-wide. Passenger complaint resolution time reduced from weeks to hours. Aviation Scholarship Program graduated its first class. 47 new pilots from underrepresented communities. Legacy of quiet power. Maya Reynolds' approach had proven more effective than lawsuits, protests, or public shamming. She had weaponized documentation, leveraged corporate structure, and deployed systematic accountability to create lasting change. Her Stanford Business School case study became required reading. Her NAACP keynote speech was viewed 2.7 million times, but her greatest pride came from young black pilots who approached her at industry events. "I see myself in cockpits now," one told her after a conference presentation, "because you showed us we belong there." The broader movement. Project Dignity had evolved from a hashtag to a movement. Passengers shared positive airline experiences alongside discrimination reports. The transparency created competitive pressure for better treatment across the industry. Other sectors began adopting similar protocols. Hotels implemented bias monitoring. Retail chains launched dignity training. Healthcare systems created patient advocacy apps. The morning that began with one woman being blocked from her workplace had become a blueprint for institutional change across multiple industries. Values that endure. The story became required reading in business ethics courses, not because of its drama, but because of its methodology. Maya had proven that systematic change required more than good intentions. It demanded strategic thinking, legal preparation, and unwavering documentation. She had chosen intellectual victory over emotional satisfaction, legal accountability over personal revenge, institutional transformation over individual vindication. The briefcase that had seemed like a simple pilot's kit had contained the tools for corporate revolution: documentation, legal knowledge, strategic thinking, and quiet determination. The call to action. Tanya Morris's final stream from Gate 19 reached 932,000 viewers, far more than her original discrimination coverage. Her message was simple. This is what change looks like when we refuse to accept that's just how things are. When we document everything, when we demand better, when we create systems protecting everyone, not just ourselves. She gestured toward the busy gate area, where passengers of all backgrounds moved freely through security checkpoints without fear of discrimination. Maya Reynolds didn't just fight for her own dignity, she built a foundation for all of our dignity. And that's how real change happens. One system at a time, one policy at a time, one moment of courage at a time. Your voice matters. These powerful stories, these life stories, these touching stories of transformation remind us that real-life stories have the power to reshape institutions. Every workplace discrimination incident you've witnessed matters. Every time you've been judged by appearance rather than credentials matters. Share your experiences in the comments below. Document what you see. Demand accountability from the institutions that serve you. Because sometimes the most powerful response to "that's just how things are" is "that's not how things have to be." If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe to Narrative Telling for more accounts of quiet strength overcoming systematic barriers. Hit that notification bell because these stories of strategic resistance and institutional change need to be told. Your share could be someone else's inspiration. Your comment could be someone else's validation. Your voice could be the catalyst for the next transformation. The briefcase is closed. The documentation is complete. The system has changed. Now it's your turn to pick up the tools and continue the work. Where are you from? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're loving this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more.